You know, it's a good thing I caught this. I was literally about, I just hit record, and only now did I realize that because of my computer updating like it usually does, it made OBS forget that I was using a microphone. So that was nice. I didn't waste a few minutes fixing that. Hello everybody, it's 192 Gamer, and I'm back with Chaos Head. Alright, we're in Chapter 6 now. I gotta remember... That's right, we're in the middle of doing this alternate pathway, so... I gotta wait for the delusion that is... Let's see, discouraged, I hung up the phone, and then neutral, why were they fixated on me? Alright. Hi, Shogun. Discouraged, I hung up the phone. Well, never mind, there it goes. There we go. Alright, so let's make this a positive delusion, shall we? And now we're back with, whatever the hell that was all about, because apparently it was a delusion that I'd already seen. And we're dealing with this terrifying instance of her falling, but thankfully she falls into a bed of flowers because we delusioned a bed of flowers for her to safely fall into. Because goddamn, that was... Hi, how you doing? I'm not going to confirm or deny that it was definitely me. What you gonna do about it? That's right. You're not gonna do anything. Bye. I'm not dealing with you, Senna. I'm not dealing with you at all. Not dealing with you at all. Because you're not the... It is the fucking inner... Oh? Wait a minute. That's right. These two are associated with each other. They oh, hold on. Oh, ooh. Sorry. Sua and Hazuki suddenly went silent, then looked up at the ceiling. They then looked back down and stared at each other. After Sua sighed, Hazuki's perplexed expression suddenly changed. These two! Suddenly, an air of familiarity was injected into the words that the two exchanged. The sense that the two could not be anything other than old friends was loaded into every word. I now understand how the novel is supposed to be done. You're forced into that first ending that I saw. Doesn't matter what choices you make, you are forced into that first ending. Once you witness that first ending, all of these other endings immediately become unlocked. That makes so much sense. That makes a lot of sense. Because now that I have all the information from the first route, I now know the true identity of these two bastards. So I need to hang on to every word that these guys say. Because they're vitally important. Oh, that's right! That's why she works in the hospital! She's searching for the original Nishido Takumi! Somnambulism. In sharp contrast to how resistant she had been to hand it over before, Hazuki readily passed the medical record to Sua. She had already had it in her possession, as if she had somehow predicted that Sua would pay her a visit. It's alright, just... Oh my god, this... Ah! Sorry! Oh god! I'm getting giddy! Yeah, Darth Spider. With a mischievous smile, Suwa placed a gentle kiss on Hazuki's lips. Yo!
コスプレしてパーティーに出発だ。
Let's get this cosplay party started. Yeah. Oh my god. The pure realize. Oh my god. Oh, I'm getting so giddy at this sort of shit. Ah! Sorry. Oh my god. This is the good shit. I'm liking this. Oh, sorry. Whose phone was ringing? Oh yeah, this revelation. Right. This is not what we're looking for either. Time for us to have the realization of a bloody hand. Gah! Sorry. Alright, we are getting to where we need to be. Why were they fixated on me is going to be the next one. And that one needs to be neutral. Now I just got to make sure that I hit the... Because I remember I have to answer these questions correctly. Okay, so this one is supposed to be... Yeah, that is. Why were they fixated on me? This one has to be neutral. Now, up comes the questions. I have to answer them correctly this time. Alright. Save. Alright, we've met the Chapter 6 requirements. Now I just have to remember... Actually, wait a minute. Is there supposed to be a specific order that I have to do this in? Avoid the bad ending in Chapter 6, answering those questions correctly. Okay. Oh my god, it's been a while since I've actually answered these questions correctly, so I'm trying to remember what the order is supposed to be. I think it's supposed to... Ah! Whoops. That led to my death. There we go. Now we're back to where we need to be. Alright. I don't think I've... Yeah, don't have to worry about this. I can't really do anything about that. So skip that, resulting in that horrifying scene. Wait till Chapter 7, because now we're getting memories of the original initiate. We're getting the original... Wait. Why had I been brought here? If Hazuki-san was here, then that meant that this was my normal hospital. It wasn't like me being brought to a general hospital was particularly weird, but... Hold on. Okay, I'm in Chapter 7 now. Regardless, why had I been brought here? Oh. This is another one of them. Let me just make sure that this is the right one. Regardless, why had I been brought here? Okay, yeah, this is the one that I have to choose negative. I almost missed it. We're in Chapter 7 right now. I almost fucked it up. Okay, the next two have to be negative. Got it. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to read this straight lace. Let's see what happens. Something still didn't feel right. Why was Hazuki-san coming to check on me? That question really bothered me. I mean, Hazuki-san was a psychiatric nurse. No, she's a psychotic nurse. If Hazuki-san was coming to check on me, didn't that mean that the room I was in was also used by psychiatric patients?
How about no? I don't want to deal with that.
Hazuki's gentle tone turned cold. Also, the light in her eyes are kind of gone. Without looking at me, she continued writing something on a piece of paper attached to a clipboard. What? Excuse me? What? What had she just said? Oh, she's doing everything in her power to break me.
妹さんの手首を切り落として持ち歩いていたなんてまともじゃないわ。
僕は殺してない。
そう主張しているらしいですね。意味不明なことばかり言ってて話にならないって刑事さんがぼやいてました。心神喪失で無罪っていうのを狙ってるんですか？
By reason of insanity. A state in which a person loses the ability to distinguish between right and wrong due to some form of mental disorder. According to paragraph 1 of Article 39 of the Japanese Penal Code, an act of insanity is not punishable, resulting in cases in which criminals are acquitted without being held legally responsible for their actions. Oh, I clicked that, read the first part. I'm like, I'm not gonna read that. Oh,
でもみんな思ってますよ。あなたが殺したんだ。
My chest squeezed tightly, and I began to hallucinate that everything before my eyes had gone completely black. I was starting to doubt myself. Had I killed Nanami? No, that couldn't be true.
この人殺し。
She'd been writing something, but suddenly, Hazuki's hand stopped. She then slowly turned the clipboard toward me. There we go. Suddenly I realized I was sitting in the same bed in the same hospital room. I wasn't sure why the sheet I just ripped off of me was still on me. Okay, still new. Hazuki-san, who had been standing right beside the bed, had disappeared before I could even blink. Wiping the greasy sweat off my forehead, I looked around the hospital room once again. After a couple knocks, Hazuki-san entered the room, and her eyes widened slightly upon seeing me.
あら。西条さん、目が覚めたんですね。
A gentle smile accompanied her as she said that. I stiffened up, then looked away.
お体の調子はどうですか？
Hazuki-san held out a thermometer to me so naturally, I couldn't help but take it.
体温を測ってくださいね。
As I took the thermometer from her, I gulped. It's the same. The exact same thing from before was repeating. It was as if Hazuki-san had just walked into the hospital room for the first time. I nervously reached for the thermometer in my underarm. I was sure I had put a thermometer in there just a minute ago, and yet there was nothing there. The thermometer had disappeared, which meant that what I'd seen earlier really had been a delusion. The tension in my body disappeared, but that didn't mean that my state of mind was any better, nor that I felt anywhere close to relieved. And now we are skipping. Okay, so with that added scene that we got there with Sua and Hazuki, really just adding more and more into their whole, like, the thing is, I'm getting glimpses into what they are actually like. Rather than the sudden shock of seeing what they're truly like getting to see, you know, them dropping the facade. Is so telling. It's so good. Okay, this one we can skip. We're waiting for one that says, hey, Interesting. So we can skip this one. And because the next one, it also has to... Oh, wow. From the looks of it, it is looking like the majority... Oh, no, I stand corrected. It's going to be like So, from what I'm seeing here for chapters 8 and 9, there's only one positive, 2 neutrals, and 1 negative. Not in that order, by the way.
5分くらいなのら
5 mini-minutes? Well, that one I have to skip too. It's definitely not what we're looking for. Maybe I've just gotten so overwhelmed lately. I had to create a new personality inside my head just so I could cope with everything. Or is you right, and I really do have multiple personalities.
コズピーはちゃんとコズピーなのら
I believe you, Kozupi.
西条くんとは違う人だよ
I believe it. I got it. I've heard that people with multiple personalities can't have conversations between personalities, but maybe this is an exception.
コズピーは違うの
I was getting really fed up with this voice. I wonder how I'm going to be able to stand just this annoying Kozubi personality, let alone all the other ones. Besides, how many personalities do I have inside me in the first place? I read in some book somewhere that there are patients in the US with as many as 24 personalities. For real? And on top of that, I'm not even sure if the personality I know as me is the main one. Maybe the original personality that owns Nishijo Takami's body isn't actually me. Ooh. Ooh, that sentence. Ooh. Maybe the original personality that owns Nishijo Takami's body isn't actually me. Ooh, that is a... As I stood there frozen and dumbfounded, the transfer student poked my shoulder with her finger. When she poked me, she tried to mumble something, but hadn't ended up saying anything, so instead of speaking, she decided to timidly raise her hand.
コズピーがコズピーなのら
え
コズピーがコズピーなのそれとコズピーは転校生じゃなくて折原梢なのら
Yeah, she's kind of just telling you right off the bat, like, hey, she's the one that's got the voice sticking, poking around on your head. Orihara Kozue. I very faintly remembered hearing that name from Misumi-kun a long time ago. Kozue. Kozubi. No. Does this mean that this voice I'm hearing is one that you're sending to my head? The transfer student nodded her head emphatically.
テレパシー
Yeah.
仕組みはよくわかんないのらでもできるの
Kozupi can telepathy! That's ridiculous. And now we're skipping. Alright. We're still in chapter 7, so I'm still waiting for that last delusion trigger. This is a very fascinating way, like, now that I'm kind of used to, or I'm better at dealing with this, it's actually, like, I'm kind of getting it. Now that I'm understanding how, like, this is how you change the story, I get it. I don't have to necessarily agree with some of it, but I get it. Also, this is not the other one we're looking for either, so skip. I'm pretty sure whenever we get to Kozupi's route, if there is one, looking at this guide, I'm like avoiding going through the guide as much as I can right now. I'm just like kind of scrolling down. Every time I meet one of the requirements for another one, I barely scroll down. So like basically right after this route, apparently I'm going to do something called the Nanami route, which is going to be interesting to say the least. Yeah.
よかったらどうぞ
Oh, here we go. This one has to be negative. I just realized this might turn out really badly if we're going to make this negative. Alright, here we go. I'd said it with good intentions in mind, but Senna simply took one look at me before ignoring the offer. And then for some reason, she handed me a popsicle stick and said, "What is that grin you've got going on, Senna? That doesn't look like it belongs on your face. I'm not used to seeing you with a freaking smirk. That looks like a troll grin you'd put on either Sakihata or Misumi." She made no attempt to explain herself, either. I wasn't sure what she was expecting, since I wasn't exactly going to get ecstatic over a losing popsicle stick that didn't even belong to me. Was she just silently ordering me to toss it in the trash can near the convenience store or something? Considering it was her and all, it certainly wasn't the realm of possibility. Senna must have had a whole host of meek male subjects that she used to do her dirty work. What? She was pretty much insulting me to my face. But just the thought of what she'd do if I defied her scared me far too much. So I just bit my lip and put up with it.
私の勝ち。
Nani? Her gaze fixed on the sky that peeked between the buildings. Senna declared her supposed victory. With a sigh, I inadvertently looked down at the losing popsicle stick and gasped. What the hell was this?
先週出た渋谷限定品だ。
It came out last week, an exclusive Oh, okay.
ただの当たりより価値がある。
Senna had a smug expression on her face as she explained. Was she just trying to brag?
だから私の勝ち。
What the hell kind of competition had she even won? And besides, I didn't want anything to do with these winning sticks, especially with how in poor taste they were. I was tempted to snap the stick right in half on the spot, but I swallowed back my anger and returned it to Senna. Oh, and now we're back around to skipping. So it looks like the next thing we're going to be doing is going to be way into Chapter 8. I'm not entirely sure how much that's... I cannot exactly remember how far off we are, because I think we're still, like... Yeah, we're still in Chapter... Oh, now we're in Chapter 8. Alright. So this is where Yua and Bon team up. Usually it's going to result in Bon's death, which is already going to be putting me into a foul mood, so that's nice. After hitting me with an unreasonable demand, Rimi sat down on the sofa. Okay, this is... Alright. I'm going to go ahead and save my progress here, so that way we keep in track with everything. Okay. Let's see. Okay, the next one we're looking for is going to be a neutral one, and it is not this one either. Okay.
おっと、ここまで行ったのになおも無視しますか。
I sensed Rimi shoot off the couch and onto her feet. She then came up next to me and slowly picked up the toy D-sword leaning against the table. Ignoring my confusion, she held up the upper part of the sword and assumed a stance.
そんなタクにはこうだ。
She swung the sword down. She was obviously just messing around and wasn't actually trying to hurt me, but regardless, she jabbed me in the back with the tip of the sword.
え、うりゃ。
Don't boot me with the sword. Damn it! Next, she bonked me on the head, and when I tried to wave her off in annoyance, she deftly dodged my counter.
ねえねえ、もっと楽しいことしようよ。じゃないと本気で切っちゃうぞ。
楽しいことって。
Mid-diagonal slash aimed straight at my neck, and Rimi stopped to ponder a little.
じゃあゲームとか。ほら、タクは得意でしょ。対戦ゲームしようよ。私そういうのやったことないから、いろいろ教えてほしいな。
Unfortunately, the only games I had were ESO and a catalog of eroge, neither of which had versus modes.
無理だよ。ソフトがなくて。
I grabbed the tip of the sword and pushed it aside. Dissatisfied, Rimi pursed her lips into a pout, then put the sword back where she'd found it.
だって、せっかく久しぶりに会えたのに。
Understatement. Okay, and I'm happy to hear that you want to spend time with me, but I'm just not in the mood to do something fun right now. Not with everything going on.
メールだよボケナス
Oh, yay.
今の何
Nothing.
あ、いや、
It's nothing at all. Nothing at all. Wait a second. Remy just heard my serotonin notification tone. Oh, God, how embarrassing. Oh, here we go. And this is the moment where she starts, like, I think, like, she starts fighting back or against Shogun or something. No, it's not. Thanks for reminding me of the hell that Ayase was put into. Fuck you, Sua. Get out of my sight. You are worthless. You are scum. Die. Can you guys tell I don't like Sua? No, like, sorry. I like Sua's character. Like, the storytelling they did with Sua, I like it. I really do. I just hate it for what he did to Bon. I'm sorry. All right, here's where we go in to meet Ayase in the hospital. All right, here we go. This is one of the first ones for Chapter 8 that we have to do. This one requires a neutral, so neither positive or negative on the trigger, so we can go ahead and skip through this. Yeah, that's right. This was the, okay, there we go. That's where we were being, I think that's, oh, that might have been the Shijo Takami's room. Yeah, he was the one that was getting our attention. And all of the wait, it stopped here? Huh? And on the 7th page. The thing that she wrote. In the yo, that is so good. Ooh, that is so good. The fact that the delusions are kind of actually playing into reality is so goddamn good. Oh, here we go. Here's the other one. This is the one that we have to put into a negative. And, all right. What's going to happen? Oh, yeah, this is the one where we turn Misumi-kun into a bad guy with the psycho killer thing going on there. All right, so it looks like, I guess for the rest, I can probably go neutral for these because it looks like all that's left are the delusional triggers in Chapter 9.
なんだそれじゃあ必死にごまかそうとしてたのがバカみたいじゃない
You did get bitch slapped.
剣を見せてって
You just come out and automatically say, huh? No way. Could Remy? Could she really see D-swords too? For a split second, that was my assumption, only for it to immediately be proven wrong.
ほらタクが前に剣のこと話してたでしょだから私も見たいなって
それで引っ叩かれたのか意味わからん岸本って剣の話ばっかしてるのになさっきも病室に入った途端グラディエーターがどうとか言い出してマジビビったぜ
Glad you'll actually, Misumi-kun. Okay, now we're back into the skipping. The little changes here and there is so good. Now, unfortunately, this does mean we're probably going to have these two go to the hospital, resulting in their deaths, which I don't like. I don't think anything's really going to change here, no matter what I do. All right, so the real changes are probably going to happen in Chapter 9 once we get to that point. Because right now, we're just getting a lot of stuff we've already seen in our previous route, including the, like, that sort of reveal of her having her D-swords. Them two come into blows. Right. Oh, yeah, the reveal of IR2 and that messed up formula, which supposedly is going to be the end of the world. I don't want to think about that. Holy shit, I never want to think about that ever again. Sorry, that just kind of hit me. Ugh. The fucking reveal of what happened to Senna's mom still just... It does not sit well with me. It is just so messed up. All right, Chapter 9. Chapter 9 is the big moment where, I believe, yeah, we lose Bon. All right, so the last two ones we're doing in Chapter 9.
少なくともあの時、あの場所では4つの妄想がシンクロしてた。
All right, so... The last ones had to be one positive and one neutral. Okay. And that's right. This is the reveal where Sakihata kind of like... Well, I mean, Sakihata tries her best to, like, stop Takumi from going any further, but Takumi's like... His whole world is literally falling apart right at the seams at this exact moment. So it's kind of a... shit. Like, everything's just my brain! Nothing makes any sense anymore. Everything's dying, my whole world's just gonna be destroyed, and I just don't know what to think anymore. Everything hurts. Basically. So, my guess is, like, after we are done here on Chapter 9... Oh. Yeah, here it is. All right, so Chapter 9, this is not one of the ones we're looking for. We're looking for one that says that voice at the start. So we could skip these. Up until the point where we get to a positive delusion for... Nope, not this one either. Sorry, Takumi, I'm not going to let you delude about, or have any delusions about Seiraton. Sorry. Your life may be falling apart, but, right now, my feelings are going to be hurt because Bon is dead because Sua is a bastard who I want to murder. Fuck off, Grim. Fuck off, Grim! Alright, here we go. Positive. That voice. Couldn't be. How? There's no way I'd misheard that. Out of every girl that visited my base, there was only one dumbass that would scream outside of it like that. Nanami was here. But I think it's also... I think this is the one we saw where his brain just...
やっと出てきた。
It's new. Okay. Alright. It's different.
生存確認。
I can see the bandages in her left arm over there. I can actually see it right now. As I opened the door, Nanami smiled and waved at me. I froze in place. She was acting way too normal. She was acting way too energetic. I'd seen it. A white bandage wrapped around her right wrist. So why? I then remembered the phone call I'd gotten a few hours earlier, the pained voice asking me to give her right hand back. And now the smile she had right now, and the bandage around her right wrist, contradicted each other. Nanami was contradicting herself. Oh, I see. She was also a delusion. She had to be. I'd never had a little sister named Nanami to begin with. I get it now. That had to be it. She's being attacked. Oh, wait, he's probably being attacked by somebody. Now that I think about it, he's probably being attacked. After ignoring her and heading back into my room, I sat down on the sofa. I once again took a hold of my Seiraton figure and gripped her tight. So tight, in fact, that my hand hurt slightly. But it didn't matter because that pain, too, was a delusion.
お兄、どうしたの？元気ないじゃん。
I have a feeling that this is probably one of the people sent out to attack Takumi to force him to awaken. Potentially. Like, this might be Sua or Hazuki sending somebody here to attack. I mean, we've already gotten the point where there are people out there that have, like, these machines that force people to experience delusions. So, everything in this world was made of delusions. Delusions developed only within my mind. Both me and this delusion I was looking at were fake.
徹夜でゲームでもやってたの？もっと人間らしい生活したら？え、なになに？
黙れ。
Oh.
ちょっと、そんな言い方しなくてもいいじゃん。お兄だからって何言っても許されるとか思ってる？
黙れよ。もうそう妹が。
妄想？
I surrendered my body to the sofa and looked up at the ceiling. With no particular goal in mind, I started counting the rusty spots. I didn't want to look at Nanami. I'd only feel empty if I did. Well, not that I cared about whether I felt empty or not, given I was just a delusionary existence.
ねえお兄、本当に平気？いつもと全然様子が違うけど。
Worrying about me like a good little sister, huh? My delusional sister was worried about me. That fact alone filled me with anger. Besides, who was she to have come to my room like she owned the place?
あ、わかった。お腹空いたんでしょう。
I gritted my teeth.
だったら、ナナが何か作ろうか？
どれ。
I'm going to assume this is a section I'm probably gonna have to cut out, so... Alright, I've cut up the recording here. We're gonna see if this has to be cut out entirely, or we'll see.
鳥って言った？鶏肉？
No one said a thing about takeout.
鶏肉だと、やっぱ唐揚げかな。でも一人で作ったことないし。あ、別にお兄のリクエストがあったから作るわけじゃないからね。ナナも今日は鶏肉で何か作りたいなって思ってただけだよ。
This Nanami was really annoying. The fact that she was so similar to the real one wasn't something I could ignore. Wait, did a real Nanami even exist in the first place? Then what was this Nanami? Real? The real Nanami? My head became a mess, so I stopped thinking. I didn't care anymore. At the end of the day, everything was a delusion.
応対取れ。
Oh, that's what he meant. Okay. You know, it's kind of a sad thing when, like, that one scene in the first ending where he practically forced himself on Rini for, like, that split second. Like... Can you understand why I was suddenly scared when all of a sudden the only thing he said was take it off? Like, I'm sorry, with that previous experience, what were you gonna make me think? Take off the bandage? No! With the way that you were wording it! Sorry.
取ってみろ、ボケが。
Okay.
包帯って、あ、これ？転んで打撲しただけだし。
Just a fall? Was it true or was she lying? I would know if she took it off.
ほんと、わがままなお兄だな。じゃあ約束してよ。ナナが包帯取ってみせたら、お兄も元気出すって。
That sound of rustling cloth rang throughout the quiet room, followed by a ringing in my ears. My head hurt. These two were delusions, though, so I paid them no mind.
はい、これで満足？って、ちょっとお兄、わざわざ取ったんだから、ちゃんと見てよ。
I hate this suspense. Like, no, don't get me wrong. I love suspense. I really do. But oh my god, this is... I do not like this level of suspense hitting me. Like, it's dragging. Ah! I sluggishly lowered my gaze. Nanami had rolled up her uniform sleeve, and she was now sticking her right hand out toward me. And when I looked at her slender arm, I saw... blood. Dripping blood. Bloody words had been cut into her arm, and they said...
その目、誰の目？
I got an achievement. Found all the whose eyes are those eyes. What? Really? There was an achievement for looking for those? My vision flashed, and when it passed just like that, the horrifying wound on her arm was gone. I'd been hyperventilating, so I moved to catch my breath. I forcefully bit my lip. Nanami was rubbing the arm she had taken the bandage off of.
青あざ、だいぶ消えてくれたな。最初はすごく腫れてたんだよ。
I didn't know whether that was the truth or not. Sure, there wasn't a wound there, but there had been before. I didn't understand anything anymore. I didn't want to think anymore. I once again laid my head on the sofa.
ねえ、ナナミ。
Without meeting her eyes, I called out to my sister, or to the girl whose identity I wasn't sure of.
お前が本物でも偽物でもどっちでもいいよ。
Right now, I only wanted one thing.
僕を殺してくれないか。
Oh, now we're over here where she sees the delusional sister, which in reality is that creepy as is one of those people that have like the delusional things. Then she summons her D sword, and then slicey dice, you dead. And then we get this shit where right, all of this is happening, and the just pain. And she vanishes, and then he screams as... Now, the real question is, how much skippage is there really going to be? Is it going to be this way all the way up to, like, a final fight or something like that?
リベンジってこと。
Oh my god, here it is. Alright, supposedly this is going to be... According to this is like the last delusion trigger I have to make a call for in whatever this route is. Alright. Skip. Neutral. So I'm not entirely sure what's going to happen now. So here's our revelation with good old Shogun. With his memories, all of this stuff. This stuff is like just fucking sad. It makes Nishido Takumi such an... Let me revel in this again. Let me just revel in this again. This is just so good. Sorry. All right.